What's up, everybody? For another episode of Bring the Pain. Ooh, yeah. As we get ready to do my hard hits and cool picks article, talk about it, talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend. Another crazy game last night. Man, Buffalo got to get their stuff together. They suck. Seriously. Like, I don't even mean to go right start off and go, bring the painish and stuff. I guess I'll just wait till Friday and all that. But Buffalo, Josh Allen, turnover after turnover after turnover. I'm sitting here with a seasonal team, and I'm like, hey, I think I could win, right? Because that's why we do these IDP articles. That's why we do waiver wire articles on Tuesday, so that we can pick up people on Wednesday to help write what's wrong with some of these teams. How do you write what's wrong with the Buffalo Bills? I mean, they literally don't care about turning the ball over. They have no ball security. Sitting there, I'm like, hey, there's a possibility I could win this game. Turnover. Hey, touchdown. Good job. Turnover. Come on, man. Like, let's stop that stuff. Although I would say if you do make kicker bets, which I did all night on FanDuel sports bet. So thank you, FanDuel. That was awesome. Oh, yeah. Kicker bets. Yeah. And yeah, won those. That was great. Everything else was like, okay, we could get this touchdown, that touchdown. We were worried about that. But this is a seasonal podcast right here. And this is the hard hits and cool picks. So let's do a review from last week. I did linebacker Blake Cashman. And guess what? He cashed, man. Oh, yeah. You didn't see that coming? Bring the pain. So, cornerbacks Tyreek Stevenson. They really gypped him. They gypped everybody. I tell you, when I do my stats and I go through and I run my models, right? Everything gets done, right? But I watch the game. I literally watch the game. Like, maybe not anybody else. Apparently, nobody watching Tyreek Stevenson last night, because not only did he have a pick, it fell out of his hand, he also defended another pass, and they gave him one. So I'm going out for my boy Tyreek Stevenson. They owe you a pass defend. Yeah. So he checked. I mean, he barely checked, but it would have been nicer to see him make that interception. It would have been nicer to see him get credit for that or stat. Regardless, he gets a check. And I gotta talk about my guy, exactly why, just reading my article alone and then heading over to this podcast, the Hard Hits and Cool Picks podcast, and hearing my response. Because last week I was dead on with Quan Alexander. And if you would have taken my advice, my Heat Overrides advice at drroto.com, you would have avoided that injury, thus leading to probably a loss in your leagues. Hey, Quan, you could have won with Quan Alexander giving you an injured game, but I talked about Elandon Roberts, who is a check mark as well, too. Guess what? He did nothing but fill in, and now he literally has all the tackles to himself. And I gave you him last week in week 10, going into all these weeks, and now he's going to do nothing but produce for one of the best defenses in the NFL, one of the scariest defenses in the NFL. Now they got everything coming in, going in. Like, what more do you want? It's only time before Fitzpatrick comes back, too, and his defense gets any stronger. But unfortunately, it does suck not having Holcomb and having Alexander to sub in and sub out. So a lot is going to fall on Elandon Roberts. And that was your key last week. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. My heat check of the week was Levante David. He came up with a kind of crappy game, but it was still good. He still got the check mark. That gives me 4 wins for the week. Again, back to back, 4 wins. It's just, I just count it. I know that I'm picking great players in great positions to put on your teams, but at the same time going 34, 3, and 2. The Heat, hard hits, cool picks, and Heats, IDP, Heats of the week, Heat check of the week, have come through every single week practically for you. That is why Dr. Roto is the go-to place for IDP, because you don't need to get confused with a whole bunch of articles from a whole bunch of guys. You just need one guy, one hero, one super guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm the champion. Uh-huh. All right, let's get to the new article. So that was a nice review. Linebacker Zach Cunningham filling in right now since, Nakobe Dean has been out. Cunningham is filled in. And if he continues to be out, especially on Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs, he's going to have all of the work cut out for him. He's going to be running all over the place with everybody else, chasing Travis Kelce, tracing, it's going to be everybody is going to be. I mean, Mahomes is going to be running. I mean, dude, Noah Gray out there running routes. He routing, right? I don't even have to talk about the receivers because, there's only one receiver that we'll talk about, and that's our guy. That's Mr. Rookie, man. That's Mr. Rookie. But you also have the Chiefs coming out with McKinnon coming out off of the backfield. The Chiefs know. Andy Reid knows that Philly can't be run on. So therefore, here's a little update for you. McKinnon may be a big factor this week for the Chiefs for DFS. There's your little click. Yeah. So with the Chiefs right now, they have opportunity to give, Zach Cunningham a lot of play. I'm not saying he's going to have a super out game because there's going to be a lot of people making tackles and maybe touchdowns scored for once at a night game. Can we have that, please? Next week should be like the most profitable Monday night football game all year. There should just be scores everywhere. Why not? Why not? I'm sick and tired of the defensive champions, even though this is a defensive podcast. I still love it, So let's move along. I know 3%. Cunningham is 3% right now. You definitely want to get him on your team, especially if Nakobe Dean is out. Let's move along to another fill-in. Is Damone Clark. He's 12% owned, and I got him at, he has another game. He's against the Panthers, right? So he's been consistent. He's been very consistent. He's coming off of a not so good game. I think he got about, but he came back, and now he has the perfect opportunity and gets a crappy team to actually get more points because Dallas is just going to dominate. So when they start pulling their starters, guys like Damone Clark are going to be in there for a few extra plays, and that's going to give you those extra points. We ain't looking for much, man, but 12%, excellent fill-in. I mean, this time of the year, we got to get something, and you got to find that right guy that's going to take you through the playoffs. And this is the time you do it. All right, let's get to a wild throwout right there, man. So this guy, his name is Keyshawn Nixon, cornerback, right? He has been filling in for Jair Alexander, and if Jair Alexander is out again this week, right? So you're going to have to watch. He will get that start most likely. If he gets the start, you literally are going to be given a guy that's going to be getting kick returns and punt returns. That is huge. So if you have a league that credits kick returns and punt returns, he can get you points. Just last week alone, he got 7.01 points in kick return and punt return yardage, right? And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better, especially if he starts. And, that's why he was able to throw in, the tackles. I think he had 4 tackles that game. So when you get that all together, you get a total, when I ran my model, was 11.55. So that's not bad. That's linebacker status. So if you have a guy that's literally getting easy points for you every single week and gets an opportunity to start, and so maybe they don't get all the punt returns, maybe there's some touchbacks, things do happen, they may never see the ball, but most of the time they do. And if there's some scoring going on, then they'll see the ball a lot. That's what we're looking for, right? All right, he's only like 9% owned. So let's get Zach Cunningham, definitely getting him 6 tackles this week. Damone Clark, 6 tackles easily, right? Keyshawn Nixon, even if Jair Alexander plays, Nixon will get at least 2 tackles. And I'm giving him 4 kick return / punt return points for your team, which should put you about 6-7 points for a corner. Maybe more, maybe less. Let's hope he gets that start. Let's hope he brings the pain so you can bring the pain to your competition this week as we get to the final weeks of the fantasy football season. This is when you need every single tackle, every single interception, every single sack, and every single article at drroto.com so that you can be our rich friend. You can be our championship friend. You can be the champion. And may the points and tackles be with you. Oh, yeah.